tonight's episode of Beyond Focus TV. I'm Lydia Patel, and as always, I have a very special guest for you, James Toussaint, who's the founder of New Haiti. He'll be with us for the next 30 minutes, so stay with us. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. Beyond Focus TV allows you to discuss contemporary topics affecting the Caribbean people on both a national and local level. The show features informed guests who offer insight, debate, and evaluate various issues. Beyond Focus TV builds on the station's mission to provide useful information to the Caribbean people in New York and abroad. Beyond Focus TV, where our viewing audience can get educated, informed, and empowered. Welcome back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. I'm Lydia Patel. And like I said, I have a very special guest for you, James Toussaint. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be on Beyond Focus TV. Good to be with you.
It's amazing to have you here. We love having people in the community who are doing great things, especially since we have such a huge Haitian population who watches our program. Yes. So it's great. They're going to learn a lot tonight. But before we actually get started, I always start off with who is. So who is James Toussaint?
James Toussaint is, like you said, the founder at New Haiti. New Haiti is, just what it is. It is beautiful. It is coming. It's almost with us. We want to ignite economic development all over the island and make it what it used to be, the pearl of the islands once again.
That's amazing. So before this new development all came up in the venture, what were you doing prior?
I was a job in business developer. I've done it twice as far as in the private sector and then in the State Department. Why? Because after the recession, people needed to get back to work, people needed new careers, and businesses needed to stay afloat. So I've done it twice, and I covered an area larger than the size of Haiti, which only was make it practical that in 2012 it was time to move to Haiti, which I spent 10 years petitioning two governments of Haiti to continue this work and help assess people, find new careers, and then help them get back to work, which we didn't prevail, but we didn't give up. Now we can do it with a growing community that is supporting us. We're able to put it into work in Haiti.
So you actually got to spend some time over there.
Yes, lots of time over there. I love my country. I grew up there. I mean, I was really raised in the United States.
Right.
Well, in two countries, actually. I went back, stayed here, went back. Mm-hmm. But yes, I love the country, and we can do some good things there.
So tell us about New Haiti, what it is and what's the mission, because we ultimately want everybody at home by the end of the program to really have a great understanding of what it is, how they can get involved, and really what's the mission behind it.
The mission of New Haiti is a fully developed and functioning Haiti that present opportunities to all its children, and the younger children will have opportunities in sports and arts and all the work. But the primary focus of New Haiti is two things: to restore the family dynamic where parents will have jobs and the kids will do what kids do. Instead, they're sitting at home with nothing to do. We wanted to address that. And secondly, it is our firm belief that in my lifetime, it's time for the ladies to take place. Women leadership is essential to the advancement of Haiti. We've deemed it that our greatest natural resource is our women, but they're so underused and undervalued. We want to change that. So women leadership, we believe that's our mission, is the way forward for New Haiti.
And it's not something that's unachievable, because if you look at several other Caribbean islands, Trinidad has had a female prime minister, Jamaica's had female prime ministers. I mean, on the English island side, they have definitely excelled in promoting women to the top seat in office, which prime ministers is the equivalent of the president in our system here in the United States. So, and forgive me for not being fully aware, but has Haiti to this date ever appointed? Has they ever had a female?
We had elected Herta Pascal Trujillo in what was it, in the 90s. I mean, it was different because we're not used to it. It's male dominated, but why not more? Why hasn't been there a female president? why hasn't there been a female leadership, just female leadership in different areas of Haiti? We'd like to see that change.
So what do you think are some of the roadblocks aside from, the machismo?
Yes,
that is still a
yes.
very Caribbean thing that prevails. But how do you think we could educate them to let them know? Because we know that women are resourceful.
Yes.
I mean, right here in Brooklyn, or New York, I should say, the city councils, the majority of the city councils taking place that we're going into the new year with are women.
Yes.
So we're going to be running the ship.
The running the largest police department in the country, newly appointed woman. So it can happen.
It can happen.
Yes. But, it hasn't been, even going back to who inspired me, it's a woman. I was inspired by two people, really. I was living here. I grew up in Brooklyn. I grew up in Brooklyn on East New York Avenue. Wonderful school by there, PS 189. PS 189, wonderful woman named Adrienne Jeudi. Adrienne Jeudi would not let me settle. She inspired me, and it was tough. Even to this day, we're friends on Facebook. She rarely likes my stuff, but when it's good, she gives me an attaboy. So I know she's watching. So she's always the angel on my shoulder, let me know, hey, you can do better. So that's it's another woman that's inspired the New Haiti.
But I do, and speaking of that, I love the title of New Haiti, because I think that encompasses so much, that it's not just, I think we need to do a better job of changing the perception of what Haiti is, and there is a new Haiti that should be coming. There's so many, not just yourself, there's a lot of great things that are happening. People are doing work that should be, like, the seeds are being planted. Yes.
The new Haiti is coming. Believe it or not, it's actually closer than we think. We just want to do away with some of the things we let ourselves get caught doing, but because we're not meeting the challenges of our country in contrast to what's happening with the outside world. We have some of these same challenges. You're like, wait a minute, you had this challenge in the 80s. Why is it happening today in 2022? Why don't you have, power, electricity? I mean, that is tragic. Why do you not, clean streets, healthcare, education, sport activities? The other day, I felt, you had the Olympics and everyone was sending and looking for COVID, and we barely sent just a handful of athletes. I said, this is 2022. Some of us have traveled. Some of us are here. We can sponsor athletes to get beyond. We're going to do away with all that. The new Haiti is coming, everybody. Get ready.
It is exciting. Even on a tourist front, I've been hearing that, and I have a lot of Haitian friends, and they were like, Haiti has beautiful beaches. And I'm like, why is it not promoted? Why is it not, DR is on the same, you share the same space.
Yes.
Those beaches do spill. It's the same natural thing. I'm like,
absolutely.
There's so much that could be developed.
It goes back to what you said. It's education. DR, the people in DR, I visited a lot of islands because it teaches me a lot to see what could work in Haiti and what's working there. DR is educated. I visited DR and felt like a real tourist. There were tour guides to direct me. I felt like a priority.
Well, hold that thought.
Yes.
Hold that thought. We're going to take a quick break. We'll pick right up with that. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. Stay with us. Back, you're watching Beyond Focus TV. So James, you were saying right before the break, when you go to other places, you actually could feel like a tourist.
Yes.
Whereas that's not the same experience when you land in Haiti?
Yes. I'm not putting down my country. We're learning from one another. We are one community of islands, descendants of Africa. We can work together. We can learn from one another. Yes, it's night and day. One thing that I see when you go on the islands, there are tours. So much money is spent with locals within these islands. Yet in Haiti, you do not leave the beach area. You never meet anybody outside. I'd like to have that discussion to see how can that change. How can we incorporate in when a tour boat comes, that money is spent with the locals, creating jobs. We'd love to discuss.
That's such a great point, because I did a cruise. It went to Labadee.
Yes.
So I had a day there.
Yes.
But every time I wanted to go out, because I was, and they had locals waiting there to drive you.
Yes.
But they're like, it's dangerous, it's this, you need your passport. I'm like, if I'm already on the island, why do I still need my passport?
And you don't need it anywhere else.
Exactly.
See, that's a contract.
So they just make it difficult for you?
It's not difficult. It's what it is all the islands, people are educated about receiving tourists, receiving these tour buses. When I go to Labadee, the contrast is, they don't know what the role is. What's the role? Here's another thing.
Hospitality, and greeting. And, yeah.
Duty free encourages people to spend. Yet there is no duty free in Labadee for tourists.
Cheap,
can you imagine? So that needs to change. We need to have those discussions and encourage people and elevate on par with the rest of the islands our tourists.
That's great. So what other plans do you have for the launch of New Haiti?
Yes.
What are some of the key things? So I know you want to help on a business development front. What are some of the other key elements that you're looking to do?
Some of the key elements, very good question. Thank you for asking. Some of the key elements is if we can reach the least of the people of Haiti, the kid in the street, and bring hope to him. He can be hopeful in the New Haiti we would have done. If we just reach one, we would have done our job. So we've launched the Sounds of the Renaissance. The Sounds of the Renaissance is a collection of songs, of spoken word and speeches from people around the world, partnering up and saying, Haiti, come on, we're raising the people of Haiti with arms of love wrapped around them. So with our music, we hope to reach, with our verbiage, with our language, we hope to reach everyone. So that is one part of the aspect. Once we reach that, we will establish a foundation upon which we can build anything. Tourism, education, healthcare, all that comes after we've reached the least of these. That's our lowest common denominator, I believe.
No, that's great. Who are some of the partners? Because of course, as any great organization, you want to partner out. No man is an island by himself. You're definitely going to need to team up with some people. Who would, if you haven't started conversations, is there anyone in particular that you would love to have a collaboration with?
Okay, I'm glad you asked that. Another great question.
Put people on the spot sometimes.
Another great question. New Haiti is really two organizations serving Haiti. One is the New Haiti Fund, which is the nonprofit. We partner with 24 organizations that we vetted, and some of them we started working already. You have, we're helping plant trees in northern Haiti with UNCH, a phenomenal university up north. They have a goal of planting 1,000 trees. Thus, you'll see the cute bracelet that reminds people of a greener Haiti. We incorporate that. There's another school that we work with called Bright Initiative, raising future leaders for Haiti. That is one of our partners as well. We have several, like I said, 24. But we do not stop there, because no country gets out of poverty through aid. So you need development. This is where New Haiti Enterprises come in, which is generating interest in outside corporations to come and create jobs, which is the end game, to see a working community all over Haiti, not just in the capital like it is now. We want to cover all 9 departments. Not just that, we want to cover wherever our people have migrated. United States, Canada, or you say they're coming from Brazil. We want to cover everyone. We want to change the narrative about our people wherever we have migrated.
So it's going
That's
to
our
even
goal.
touch the diaspora, which is great.
Yes, yes, yes. The diaspora. We couldn't deny them because they came
They're
knocking.
everywhere.
They came knocking on our door at Del Rio. If we could say, oh, Haiti's there, we'll get there, but now they're at your door. I'm inviting you to join. You don't have to join me. I'm inviting you to take action because our people are asking us to step up in 2021. It begins here, not just for Haiti, but for everywhere. And we can make a difference. We can make a difference. We have some prominent people in New York. We have some prominent people in Florida. Yes, if we come together like our emblem says, l'union fait la force, which means in unity there is strength. If we can come together, like you and I are coming together now,
You have to come together. I think that's...
like you and I are coming together now, we can make a difference.
No, that's amazing, and
Yes.
I truly do believe that it could be done.
Yes.
And there's enough. I don't know what the numbers are, but I think there's almost as many. I've heard this as a joke. There's probably more Haitians abroad than there are left on the island,
Yes.
because there's certain key areas you just very large Haitian
Yes.
populations, and
Exactly.
even though they're living abroad,
Yes.
they're still very much attached.
Yes. Yes.
And I find that pride is still there and that willingness to help.
Yes. I agree with you. And we don't have to do it alone, people. We don't have to do it alone. There's so many islands where I'm working in Florida with WAVS, a gentleman by the name of Mr. Reed. I was on with him last week. And his vision is he's from Jamaica. He wants to bridge the gap between Haitians and Jamaicans so we can work together and become a force in this country. So we don't have to do it alone. You mentioned pride. I break it down in two places. We have pride because of what happened in 1804. I want you to be proud of what's happening in 2021.
Well,
That's where we are.
We're going to pick up on more of that pride in
Yes,
just a minute. You're
absolutely.
watching Beyond Focus TV. Stay with us. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. So James, you're talking about the pride, that
Yes.
excitement, that love that people
Yes.
have.
Yes.
You were saying 1804. People never forget that. It's a big
Yes.
number. I've seen T-shirts just say
Yes.
1804. So it's like, if you know,
Yes.
you know.
Yes.
When you see that number.
Absolutely.
But what else?
No, like I said, what happened in 1804, everyone knows it. It's good to have pride, but it should not stop there. Let's incorporate what we're proud of our people doing in 2021. Let's get to work, everybody. I'm asking you. We need reasons to be proud today.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot. 2021, had its challenges,
Yes.
of course. Definitely, we're in 2022 now,
Yes.
and it's one of those things where you look back, and you're always looking back, and between, there was the assassination. There's always seems to
Glad
be
you mentioned that.
a
That's
layer
very
of
good-
something
Yes,
that they
yes.
can't get ahead. And then
Yes.
couple that with a pandemic and everything else. It's like, okay,
Been
the
here.
rest of the world who was good was feeling it.
Yes,
So imagine when
yes.
you're not even in a good
Yes,
place to
yes.
begin with.
Exactly. I'm glad you mentioned that, which is another reason I'm counting on the, everyone in the United States to be mindful of why our people showed up in Del Rio, Texas. This is something that's very dear to me. Consider that we had challenges economically in 2020 and in the beginning of 2021. Challenges which were really dire in their own right. Then you add to that, summer came along. You add to that, like you mentioned, the presidential assassination. That's one thing. Followed by an earthquake.
Yep.
Yes. And then forgiving tropical storm just ran through the cities. Now, you add all that. There's no telling what's going to happen. But the world answered the call. We're grateful for that. And a abundance of aid came. That is great. But you know what happened with an abundance of aid?
Well,
The economy.
Aid runs out, and it doesn't help you.
Yes.
It does not help you. It makes you dependent. And
Yes.
it just keeps you in a forever begging state because you're never going to lead. Instead of creating an opportunity,
Yes.
It goes back to the Bible. Teach a man to fish. I could feed you, or I could teach you to fish. If I teach you to fish, you could eat every day for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
Or you're going to have to keep coming to me and asking me for a fish.
Yes.
So that's what... the IMF and all these different things. I have my own personal things on that, but I rather, diversify the funds into letting, educating people to be self-sufficient versus just a handout. And most people they'll take the handout, when it comes down to things, but I think they rather have the knowledge and the skills that would do that.
I applaud you. This is why we believe in women leadership. Your breakdown, your capacity to add a little bit of detail. Believe me, I could have not said it any better if I tried. I appreciate being here with you just for that. I really appreciate that.
It's
you had layers.
Thank you. And it's just when you think about it, and I'm a thinker, and I think about how we could make things better, not just in Haiti. There's so many Caribbean islands who are very similar. We all suffer from the same kind of issues, sadly. So on a social media front, because I definitely want to make sure everybody at home has your contact info. How could we reach you and get in contact?
Wow. I'm glad you asked. On social media, you can find us on Facebook. We have 3 pages on Facebook, which is New Haiti Enterprises. We have Haiti Growth Project, which is just a page where we partner with organizations. They can be visible. We want to know what they're doing, so that we can share it with our network. And then we have the Haiti Marketplace, where anyone around the world is welcome. You want to know what Haitian people are doing and have to sell? Go in the Haiti Marketplace. Go there, you'll find anything from all over the world. People can post it freely and let us know what they're doing. And then you have Instagram is also New Haiti Enterprises. And then on Twitter is a little bit different. It's New Haiti _2020s. Our vision is a fully functioning Haiti in this decade. Not the next, but in this decade. That's why it's 2020s, because we want to make every year in this decade count for the great people of Haiti. That is our vision.
Great. And what's the website for everyone to go and check?
www.new-haiti.com.
Okay, so new-Haiti.
Yes, it's a bridge from from Haiti into the new. That's our hyphen. It's a bridge.
I like that. That's great. Any final words, any thoughts just about how you're feeling and the vision for the rest of 2022?
Yes. The vision for the rest of 2022. I'm glad you asked that. It's we are putting into place the Haiti Rescue Plan. The Haiti Rescue Plan, if the funding gets straight, we're gonna address so many sectors in Haiti. There's gonna be so many things happening. Not only will people in the United States and around the world be encouraged, but the people in Haiti will also be hopeful. That is our goal, whether it's in sports, in tourism, job development, women empowerment. We want to address these at the same time, but we need your help, our partners, investors, everyone. We need on board to spread the mission of the Haiti Renaissance. Have the swagger. We're looking forward to seeing you on our pages, sharing our stuff, and sharing your ideas and visions for Haiti. It'll be great. The Sons of Renaissance. It's coming, the new Haiti.
That's exciting. I'm really looking forward to just seeing all the hard work come into play.
Wow. I'm glad you said that. We have so many partners. We are on 4 continents. We have partners, wonderful Eleonora in Italy. We have what's the name I'm looking for? it's I'm missing it. Wonderful Audrey in England. We have partners Costa Rica, way down in Costa Rica. We're all over on 4 continents and ready to serve and address. And we want to ignite a movement all over the world. Let everyone feel that sound of the Renaissance. Haiti is coming. It'll be restored. But we need you on board. We need you, if not to join us, just singing the sound of the Renaissance. Just join in.
And what's great is that every time there has been a call to action, the support is there.
Yes, it is.
Like on a global front, people come out and support.
So
yes,
it is.
I definitely think that, it's just about getting the word out there and continuing to do that. And I think everybody will be really see what's happening. So James, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
It's been great having you, and we'd love to have you back to get an update on what's going on.
For Beyond Focus TV is a true friend. They're doing wonderful work. You have a partner in me. I am all in with Beyond Focus TV. Thank you again for having me. Lovely.
You're very welcome.
Lydia. Thank you.
Awesome. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, you can send us an email at info@beyondfocusmedia.com. I'm your host, Lydia Patel. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll be back again next week. Same time, same place. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. Stay with us.
Beyond Focus TV show wants and needs your feedback. Did we blunder? Please let us know so we can improve. Was the show helpful to you? Drop us a note so we can share the success with our staff members. Is there something you think we could do better? We welcome new ideas and new approaches to old ideas. Do you have a great suggestion? Let us know, and we'll work on it. If you would like to share your comments anonymously, please send us an email at info@beyondfocusmedia.com. If you want to get in touch with the executive producer directly, send him an email at gene@beyondfocusmedia.com. We really look forward to hearing from you.